Welcome to The Woman's Hustle, Thrills and Spills of Entrepreneurship. This show is going to take you on a journey into the dynamic world of female entrepreneurship. In this show, we're going to celebrate victories, navigate the challenges, and embrace the roller coaster ride of building a business. We're going to dive into the stories of women who have dared to strike out on their own as they share their experiences, insights, and lessons learned. So, whether you're an aspiring entrepreneur or a seasoned business owner, join us as we explore the hustle, the thrills, and yes, the spills of entrepreneurship. Let's get it. Welcome back to the Woman's Hustle, Thrills and Spills of Entrepreneurship. It's your girl, Coach K Woods, and you know I'm back with another informative session. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you are watching here on YouTube, then you see that I'm not here by myself, so I'm going to allow my guest the honors of introducing herself. Hello.
Hello, good afternoon. I am Theodora Carter. I am a certified life coach, also HR consultant, and I am excited to be here today.
Me too. Thank you so much for joining and coming on the Woman's Hustle, because we had a great first conversation and I'm super excited to dive in a little bit more. Just talking about the thrills and spills, and I know we all have them, so I'm definitely excited to get your insight on yours too. So just kind of tell us a little bit about you. Tell us a little bit about the backstory and tell us what got you to where you are today.
All right, so I am an HR professional by trade, right? So I've been in the HR profession for over 20 some odd years.
Oh, wow.
During COVID, right, when everybody was like, oh my God, we have to be locked up. I started out like, oh no, how am I going to be locked up? And then realized that it was an opportunity for me to really dive into some things I want to do, right? Which was start my own business, right? But what really got me to this point was from 2016, I would say, till about 2018, I experienced like back-to-back loss. And one of the major ones was losing my dad. And the way I lost him, right? Like I literally walked into his apartment with my aunt and we found him right on the floor. And so from that point forward, right, it was just like, okay, keep it together. But then I lost an aunt who was like a mother, and then an uncle, and then my god brother, and then our relationship ended, right? And so just all of this back-to-back loss. And so I decided to go back to therapy, right? So the first time I went to therapy was in my 20s. And so I was like, you know what, I need to go back to therapy because one day I woke up and I was like, you could stay here in this mindset of woe is me and being heard and all of that, or you can choose to heal, right?
Come
But
on.
I wanted to heal in a different way. So I went back to therapy. And then after a couple of months of therapy, I invested in a coach. And it was during that process that I was like, you know what? I want to help other women live the life they deserve.
Come on.
Not only the life that you want to live, but the life that we deserve, right? That John 10:10, right? Life, right? And so that started during COVID. I actually went back and took a professional certification course. And I became a coach, and I said, okay, what you gonna do with this certificate?
What'd you say? Now what?
Right? And so then I got my LLC, and I started out, T. Carter Coaching and Consultant, and started offering coaching services to women. And unlike a lot of other coaches, right, my rates are affordable because I know for the longest time, I told myself that I couldn't afford to invest in myself while I was investing in all this other stuff, right? So my coaching is affordable in the sense that I want to get women to the point of recognizing that, yes, you can afford to invest in yourself.
Absolutely.
But it's the choices that you make, right? And so, and then as I started doing that, I said, you know what, I'm going to use this little HR profession I have. And I decided to start my HR consultant business where I provide HR services for startups, small businesses, like businesses that won't necessarily need a full-time
Mhm.
HR team. So I offer like fractional HR support.
Nice.
And so that's how I
Listen.
got
Woo.
here.
Let me tell you something, girl. If you just do not see the chills on my arm, right? Because for one, your story is so similar to mine, right? COVID was like a transformational shift for me as well. I spent so many years, thinking that I was cool with life, but as I look back, I was not happy with where I was mentally, physically, but I also wasn't happy working in corporate America,
Mm,
and because of the mindset that we have, the societal restriction of, hey, you
mhm,
got to get a job, you got to live the American dream,
mm,
and stuff like that. But in 2019, you'd have never told me that I'd be an entrepreneur right now, right? Never. Like, I'd have laughed at you because I'd have been like, I ain't trying to work for myself. I ain't got time for that. That was my mindset.
yeah.
But experiencing so many things and over the years mentally for me as well, it took its toll. And like, because of the uncertainty of March of 2020 when this whole COVID thing started, it broke me. Right. I
Yeah.
was like on the verge of meltdown, mental
Mm,
breakdown. So like hearing you, I can so relate to that, the experiences of loss, but also the experiences of putting ourselves at the low end of the totem pole, right?
mhm,
Prioritizing everything else, and deflecting our
yeah.
needs. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I love that you are working with women because I am team us all
Yeah.
day. What actually made you want to get started with regards to working with women? I know you say that you said it like, but what actually was that triggering moment for you? What do you think?
I think when I realized that, although I considered myself to be an authentic person,
Mm-hmm.
but then I realized I wasn't really truly an authentic person, right? Because I was running around saying everything was okay when everything wasn't,
Come
right?
on.
And let me tell you something, my career has been fantastic.
Yeah,
I was an admin in HR and grew to an executive level, right?
I
Like
love it.
I grew in my career. It was progressive, but there was always this longing, right? And I was feeling that with other things, right? Always on the run, always
Yeah,
moving, always going, always saying yes. I'm at this event, I'm at that event, I'm doing this, I'm doing that, right? But like you said, I was working for someone and I was thriving, but I wasn't satisfied,
yes.
right?
So
And then
unfulfilled.
yeah, and then when I went through my journey, I was like, you know what? You showing up like you're okay. How many other women are showing up the same way? Like one of the things I learned in therapy when I went back is
Mm,
I struggle with functional depression, right?
yeah,
And it's probably a technical term for it, right? But and then I realized I probably have been living in functional depression most of my life.
yes.
But doing the last thing that broke me, where I couldn't get out of it. Like I couldn't know, like if I used to function in it well.
Right.
I was starting not to function in it. I was like to the point of I'm
Mm,
going to work, I'm coming home, I'm kicking on clothes, I'm getting in the bed, I'm crying myself to sleep, I'm quoting scriptures to go to sleep, right? And I was like, you know what? I don't want to live like this.
yeah,
And I don't want any other woman to stay in a situation they're in because they are tied to the security
yeah.
of that bi-weekly paycheck.
Mm, mm,
Because
mm.
that's what holds us,
Yeah, it is.
right?
It really is.
And then all of the other external things that you think that you need to do, and then the biggest one is the fear, right?
Ooh,
And so I was like, you know what? I want other women to live the life they want to live. And I think around that 40-ish, and above,
yeah.
until we get to that point, oh
It's
my
too
God,
late for us.
40, it's too late. I
Mhm.
can't start over, right? And nothing. Like you think starting a new relationship is gonna be too much. You think starting a new career, right? And I want women to know, like you literally can create the life you want to live.
Absolutely. And that is so critical because me starting upgraded mindsets was the exact same reason because I was the low man on the totem pole for
Mhm.
myself. So me going through a 30-day fast and really like reflecting, becoming accountable for myself and saying, you know what? I'm tired of just living. I'm ready to thrive.
Yeah.
So many of us as women, we societal restrictions will tell us, oh, we just got to keep being strong and keep doing. No, we have the power to take back our life and live the life, as you said, that we deserve. It is super important. Sometimes that's going to involve, no, let me take that back. All the time, it's going to involve sacrifices.
Yeah.
And that could be sacrifices of people, places, and things. And we
Mm-hmm.
have to understand that and be okay with that. And I think that's a
Yeah.
lot of times where we struggle the most, especially as women, because one, we're nurturers, right?
Yeah.
We are nurturing individuals. So we want to be there for everybody. We want to show up for everybody. But how are you doing that effectively if you're not showing up for yourself?
Exactly.
And
And if
that's
you're not honest with yourself, right?
yeah, honest, accountable, like all of that.
Mhm.
Yes, there were things that I know, decisions that I made in life that I know weren't the best decisions for me. But instead of me justifying it, I now say, you know what? I messed up. I effed up on that and I ain't do it right. But guess what? I'm accountable because now can't nobody hold that over my head.
Yeah.
And I want us to understand that that's one of the biggest things. Whether you're starting an entrepreneur journey, on a side hustle, whatever it is,
Mhm.
you've got to start, right? You
Yeah.
have to begin that process, and that is going to involve reflection, it's going to involve accountability, it's going to involve open-mindedness and receptiveness to bring in other people. Right. Since you
Yeah.
started your journey, because like you said, you've been in HR for
Mhm.
years, but when it comes to the entrepreneurial side, because you started two businesses, the coaching
Mhm.
side and the HR consulting side, how has that been for you when it comes to building community? Do you see a difference from the corporate side versus the entrepreneur side?
I do. I mean, I see a difference in the sense that I have like my coach, and
Mm-hmm.
she's still my coach, but also now we're more like collaborators,
Yeah.
right? And then there's other women that I collaborate with, right? And so the other thing I find and I love about entrepreneurship is I get to choose who I want to work with,
You better say it again.
right? Like I get to say, you know what? This
Yes.
might not be a good fit. I'm gonna refer you to someone else, right?
Yep.
Or I can't do that service for you, right? I mean, I think that is the most important thing. But also, I find that when I am working for myself, because I still hold down a 9 to 5,
Yeah.
right? I moved from executive to individual contributor.
Okay.
But I find like when I'm in my space, the energy is different,
Mm-hmm.
right? Like I don't mind being up 2 3 hours of the night working for myself.
Yes.
But there was a point where I was up 3 hours of the night getting calls, dealing with it for somebody else, right? And not being appreciated. And I will say from working in HR, right? We all know, and I've seen it firsthand because
Mm-hmm.
I've been a part of it. Today, the position is there. Tomorrow, you might be called into a room where I'm sitting with your leader and I'm telling you, we no longer need you, right? And we may or may not get you separate, right? And so I think for me, it really is, it's like I had ownership for
Yes.
what happens, right? In my business.
Yes.
And so I get to choose how hard I work, when I work.
Man, you said a whole word there, sis. Listen, working for yourself. I love that you touched on it because I do want to talk on that more. Like, we are able to pick who we want to work with. We are
Mm-hmm.
able to, because I am all about energy, right? Because I know what I have gone through, and because I know the spaces that I want to be in, the growth that I'm continuously doing. I'm not accepting no bullshit
Yeah.
just to say that I'm working with somebody, collaborating with somebody,
Mhm.
and I have that choice. Um, there are people that are like, oh, you want to work with somebody that's doing this, but what are what's their characteristics like?
Yeah.
What's their character like? Because they could be somebody ugly. Baby, I ain't working with them. My alignments come how I want them to come, and I
Mm-hmm.
receive them how I'm supposed to receive them. But
Yeah.
I'm not just going to work with any and everybody. That go for collaborations, that go for clients, because
Yeah.
I have turned money away. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Because your energy off, you coming in with the whole mindset of, oh, this is just a joke, you know. Yeah, I'm good on that because nothing about what I do is a joke. Now, when I first started, and I'm sure you could probably relate to this, we had the whole mindset of we want to help everybody.
Yeah.
I want to reach every woman in the
Right.
world. But as you grow, it's the facts.
It's so true.
Hey, it's so true. But as you grow, you're like, I'm stressing myself out because my audience is too broad,
Mhm,
right? So what people have to understand on the entrepreneur journey, and I don't care what
mhm,
level of entrepreneurship you're on, I don't care what product service you offer, you have to know who your target audience
yeah,
is. Whether you're selling products,
mhm,
services, coaching, consulting, you
yeah,
have to know who your audience is. Just like you said, prime example with yours, and it stuck out to me because I am a woman over 40, right?
mhm,
So that is a identifying factor. So when somebody sees that, they're going to continue to read, which is going to be could be your
mhm.
potential target audience. So it's important for us to know who our target audience is, and that involves some trial and error.
Exactly. Because when I
Mhm.
first started out, I was like, you I was just like, I'm not learning,
Yep.
right?
Yep.
And then I had to do some investment and look at some people, and it was like, no, who's your core audience? Like,
Yes.
who are you
Yes.
trying to reach, right? Why are you trying to reach them? And particularly, what are you trying to help them with, right?
That part. That part.
And so I'm trying to help women that are in that phase of trying, because around 40 or more, it's that transitional phase.
It is.
Whether you're becoming an empty nester, whether you're getting out of a relationship, starting a new one, whatever the transition is, right? And so, what I think that is key, I think it is really, really something that I have. And the other thing is, don't com- don't compare yourself.
Oh, that comparison gonna get you, that imposter syndrome, baby. It's gonna
Mhm.
get you. It's
Yeah,
gonna get you. But it's
yeah,
important to have the tools in place. I love that you said in the beginning that you invested in a coach, right?
mm,
Because I didn't in the beginning, right? I had that mindset of, oh, I've been helping people all my life. I can help. And I'm being transparent. But
right.
baby, I learned in that first year, girl, you better stop playing with yourself and invest in yourself. It is super critical to invest in yourself. Y'all probably hear this on every episode that you hear on the Woman's
Yeah,
Hustle. Investing in yourself, whether that is a financial investment towards the growth of your business, whether it is a personal investment, whether it is a mental investment, you need to invest in what it's going to take for you to be clear on where it is you want to go as an entrepreneur. You might not want to be a full-time entrepreneur. And I
yeah,
always like to put that disclaimer out there. Everybody doesn't have to be a full-time entrepreneur.
yeah.
But being an entrepreneur doesn't always mean that you're just leaving your job and you're doing this. Being an entrepreneur is you have a side hustle, but you are running that like a business.
Business.
You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
And it's true because one of my little call her my little sister, right? She has her own business, but she has no desire to be a full-time entrepreneur, right? And
Absolutely.
and that's cool. But the other thing I want to point out to people is when I invested in coaching, it was a relationship coach,
Mhm.
right? Because I was trying to get over,
Yeah.
right, a relationship because I always was a girl that, I got over them quickly, but
Yeah.
this one was different, right? Because I had opened myself in a different way. And it
Yeah.
was during that period of working with that relationship coach that she was like, you know what? All these journals, because I journal a lot. She said it's gonna become a book. I became an author, right?
Hey,
And I was
period.
like,
Ooh,
right?
Theodora, girl, you just don't know how similar. Oh my God,
And
girl.
so I want people to know, like, the investment started in invested in me
You.
because I wanted to, first of all, I didn't want to help women and I'm busted,
Yeah.
right? Like I'm still working on myself. So I needed to go and heal, right?
Yeah.
I needed to heal from some stuff. I needed to, and this is another thing I'm gonna say. I needed to sit at people who thought Theodora always had it together. We going to her for everything, but she's the go-to.
Yep.
I'm not okay.
Mm-mm.
Right? Like I had to literally get to the point where I was like, it's okay to let the people closest to you know you're not okay. You're
Hey.
struggling. You are struggling with depression. You need them to, like, I literally said to my god sister, like, I sent the cats out to my god sisters in my core. I was like, guys, I don't even know what to say about right now. I need you guys to pray. Like, I am like, right? And so the other thing I will say is take off the mask.
Mm-hmm.
because a lot of us are walking around with this mask on, and until we really look at who we are. And
Yeah.
so one of the questions I always ask my clients, right? Because I like starting with mindset.
Ooh, come
That's
on.
my
Let's talk
start.
about mindset. Hey, you
Yeah,
see that?
yeah. And
Mindset or
so one of
everything.
the questions I always ask my clients is, who are you? Because I had to ask myself that.
Yep.
Who are you, Theodora, without the executive title, without the now use daddy girl, daddy ain't anymore, with daddy kid, without the daughter title, right? Without the aunt cut, like all, who are
Hell yeah.
you, Theodora, at your core?
Yep. I
And a
love
lot
it.
of us can't answer that question
I
until
definitely
we do
couldn't
the work.
answer it. I definitely couldn't answer that question in 2020. I could not answer it because I was like, I was always showing up for everybody else. But seriously, what I was doing is deflecting my own
Mhm.
shit. I was
Yeah.
deflecting the fact that, I was raised without a father. I was deflecting
Mm.
the fact that, I was, me and my mom was in and out of prison growing up. I was deflecting the fact that, I was promiscuous as a child. I was a teeny mom, just everything trauma wise, being involved in drug raids and, so many other things.
Yeah.
I deflected all of that because I didn't want to deal with it. So I would pour into so many other people and not doing that to myself. So I love that you touched on that because it's important for us to realize that we do have to do that inner work. If we're wanting to become the most empowering version of ourselves, that
Mm.
inner work has to be done. And baby, it's gonna be ugly.
Yes.
It's gonna be ugly, okay? It's
It's
gonna
the
be
hardest
ugly.
part of the journey because when you have to look at yourself, and because you have to look at your part
Yes,
in whatever happened to you, right? Like you said earlier, the choices,
the choices.
right? The choices that we make or don't make,
Yep.
right? And so and you have to know how to forgive yourself, right? For all the stuff you just
Mm.
mentioned, right, that you went through, you had to go through a process of I need to forgive K, right?
Yep.
So let's forgive younger K. So this new K that's unbirthing can like really hit her stride and like you
Yes.
said, thrive. Because too many of us are surviving in life.
Yes.
And
Come on, sis.
we're not thriving.
And then also, like, I come across this a lot, working with women because although I work with personal transformation, I also help with entrepreneurial growth. And a
Mm-hmm.
lot of times women will try to start businesses when that personal side of things isn't happening.
Mm-hmm.
And that is so critical. And that's why I really incorporated them both, right? Because
Yeah.
they have to align.
Mm-hmm.
Because your personal clarity has to be established first because that's going to help you get stronger in what you want to be as an entrepreneur, what business you want to start and be more effective. Because you'll start the business and then the first thing you're stressed out, you're ready to quit. Yeah, that's because
Mm-hmm.
your personal side is in shambles right now. And it's nothing wrong with
Yeah.
identifying that first. I encourage it. If you're wanting
Mm-hmm.
to be long term in the entrepreneur game, if you want to create a side hustle, if you want to do anything, you still have to adopt the mindset of an entrepreneur and that you
Mm-hmm.
are wanting to grow a business. So that involves the personal clarity, the personal transformation, the entrepreneurial stages, the SWOT
Yeah.
analysis, all of
Mhm.
those things play a part, y'all. So it's just super
Yes.
important. You got to get in alignment with things together. Why do you want to start this business? We all want to make money, y'all. We want to make money, but
Yeah.
that can't be the only reason because you're setting yourself up for failure when you say, "Oh, I want to make some money." So, why do you want this business? Is this
Mm-hmm.
something you want to do for 3 months? Because then I'm probably not the person you want to work with. Now, if
Yeah.
you see yourself 5 years from now on this journey, then hey, let's have a conversation. But it really involves aligning your personal clarity and your business clarity together, right?
It it is. I mean, that mindset is like it's that place of believing
Yes.
that you can do it. It's that place of it's not too late in the
It's not
game
too late.
to do
Come
it,
on.
right? It's that place of what do I need to sacrifice? Like and I always use this as a perfect example to those nothing known as people. I'm one of them.
Me
And
too.
Starbucks people, right? The amount of money you spend on those little apps, Dunkin' Donuts app and the Starbucks app, and you run it through and getting those $5 or $3, right?
$4.61. Look.
Add those up. That's
And
your money.
there go your investment right there.
You're,
You're right.
for you investing in yourself, whether you're investing in coaching, whether you're investing in therapy, whether you're investing in a class that helps you move closer to what you want to do. But when you start, and here's the thing, we all survive, because this is what, during COVID, unless you were shopping like crazy online, right? But we all survived. Because I was like, what do I need to buy? I'm in spandex, right?
Hey, come on. Leggings and tees. Hey, period.
Right? Like, what do I need to buy? And so when I came out of talking, I'm like,
I've seen the difference.
Right? And so I think, and I think it's also saying yes, right? Because when I was asked to collaborate on this book, like I just said yes. Then like a month, then like a week later, I said, so which part?
But I love that you said yes. I love that you said yes. That was that mindset shift for you. So instead of asking that, I love that. I absolutely love that. And I think that that is amazing. Like, it is a mindset shift. It's all about your mind. The mind is where everything begins. So you have to be focused on making sure that it is clear. Because I tell people all the time, on an entrepreneur journey, in just day-to-day life, obstacles are inevitable, right? But you have to have tools and strategies in place to overcome these obstacles and to continue going effectively. We are not going to prevent every single obstacle from happening. I actually listened to something the other day, and it was like, said to the point of, we need to normalize difficulty, right? And they even got a little biblical with it, but it's facts. We have to normalize understanding that obstacles are going to occur, because what that did for me is change the game. My mindset is already in place to expect the obstacle. So I have those tools set to the side. So when that happens, hey, all right, let's pull these out the drawer real quick. Let's make them do what it do. And I'm going to keep going. You know, I'm not going to just give up and be so mad and frustrated because something happened. I have to have obstacles to learn. You have to have obstacles to continue to build and grow and be effective, you know. So I just love that, you know, having a growth mindset, period.
And it's crazy because like I always say to my clients, right? You know, we have this strategy, and one of my clients was like thinking about the obstacles and challenges, right? For her, she thought, and I said, listen, I'm not gonna say you have to do it, but I incorporate that with my clients because I'm like, if you are prepared, for whatever obstacles or challenges that may come, when it comes, you're not gonna get stuck. Right? Because you're already anticipating, you're praying that it doesn't come.
Of course.
But you have it there as, hey, I knew this might show up. And so this is what I already planned to do if this show up. So
absolutely,
I do believe. And one of my favorite books is Feeling Forward. It's by John C. Maxwell. And he talks about how we are set up from just when we start school, right, to think that failure is something that we should not accept, right? But in reality, we should make failure, like you say, a normalized part of our journey, because it's in the failure that you are able to then move forward. If you learn from the lesson, right? So that is like, I usually would recommend that book to a lot of my clients as well.
And I'll put that link because I don't think I read that, so I think I need to read it as well. So
that is a good book because it definitely makes you think about failure differently, but then it also makes you think about the people who, like Michael Jordan, right? They told me he would never be, right? The Harry Potter woman, she said look to how many people before somebody accepted that, right? And so what if they had said, you know what?
I ain't gonna send it nowhere. I'm gonna stop.
And so I think that's also something that has helped me on this journey, especially when you're on social media, right? And you see there's a billion coaches, right? But then you got to remind yourself there's only one you.
There's only one you, baby. Come on. Tell him again. It's only one you.
Exactly. And so what you're going to bring for your clients is going to be different from what I'm going to bring to my clients and what my coach is going to bring to her clients, right? And it's at some point, the three of us together might collaborate and bring all of our stuff to a group of people, right? But the reality is if we don't get stuck on the other coaches and what they're doing and how I'm not the girl that's gonna go live every day. I'm not that girl, right?
Me neither.
And once I got it in my mind that I didn't have to be the coach, the girl that's gonna go live every day, and I needed to do it my way.
Yeah.
It helped me move differently in my business.
Absolutely. I love that. So the bottom line, people, is when you begin the journey, you still have to remain authentic to who you are, right? And being authentic means figuring out who you are as a whole, as a collective, mind, body, soul, spirit, whether you want to be an entrepreneur, whether you don't want to be an entrepreneur, whether you just want to acquire side hustles, whether you want to do something for a little bit and stop, whatever it looks like for you, you still have to get that clarity and understand, hey, I got to do what I got to do, and I got to remain authentic to me, because that is exactly what I've done. Because people are like, girl, you still crazy and you're loud. Yep, I'm still loud. Yep, I'm still, laughing, hee ha ha. But baby, the work that I have done internally, mentally, hey, I am so unapologetic. All it has done is amplified that. And being able to pour into other women and give them that sense of confidence through the tools and methods that I teach through upgraded mindsets. Hey, I'm building some unapologetic, dope ass women, and I love it.
And that's what's important, right?
Absolutely.
Is because we all need to live unapologetically.
Unapologetically. I love it. I love it, sis.
And let's get rid of the myth, right? Like this myth that women can't do things together, AK to the law. Because I will tell you, I got a crew of coaches and entrepreneurs who we are doing stuff together, right? And that's what's gonna make us different and make us better, right? Is that we are just unapologetically being. I tell people all the time, I love the Lord. Yeah. But listen, He ain't done with me yet.
Yeah, come on.
So you might hear some DMX blasting out of my car. Because I can listen to gospel and I can listen to DMX, right? Because that's who I am, right? And so for me, I think the biggest thing was just learning to be comfortable with who I am. Down to my hair, right? Like going natural, right? And just being okay with
just being you.
Right? Just
the
being
amplified
me,
version. The
right?
more empowering version. Yes. Absolutely.
The person that's more confident in herself. Right?
Because that's what it's about. Self-confidence. That inner confidence is going to be so critical in how you continue to thrive as a business owner, as an entrepreneur, but most importantly, y'all, as a woman. Okay. Because let's not forget, you are a woman before you are anything else, baby. So you embrace that. You have that confidence come out, baby. And I'm telling you, the possibilities are endless. There is no limit. There is no sky is the limit, baby. We going above and beyond, because that's my whole mindset every day. I talk about it, I live it, and I'm just so unapologetic about that. So
and just being intentional.
Yes.
Right? If anyone follows me on social media, they're like, if this girl talk about intention, I'm like,
hey, but it need to be talked about.
But it is so important, right? Like to be intentional. Like until I got to that point where I'm intentional about everything that I'm doing, right? Even if I fall off, right?
Yes.
I'm like, okay, you're about to fall off right now. So I'm intentional about how long I'm going to stay here until I get back to where I need to be, right?
Absolutely.
And I think that is the other thing is, it's not easy. this
No.
entrepreneurial thing is not easy.
And I
So
need us to stop trying to decorate it and make it seem like it
exactly.
is. You know what
Yeah,
I'm
it
saying?
is
Let's
not.
not do that. People, let me tell y'all this. The people that y'all see that's got the greatest lives ever, and they're not telling you the whole journey. If you don't have an entrepreneur that is telling you the raw and uncut side of the entrepreneur journey, hey, it's a good marketing tactic for them. Let me tell you that, okay? If you feel like that you want to be like them, that means their marketing is doing a great job. And I also want to touch on, before we get ready to head out of here, is what you said about the support team, right?
Yes.
As you start the entrepreneur journey, I need y'all to understand this. Everybody ain't gonna be able to come along that journey with you.
Yep.
You have to understand, you have to build those tribes. I also have fellow coaches. I also have fellow entrepreneurs.
Mhm.
Do I still have some of my older people? I absolutely do. But because I am in this entrepreneur journey full time, I had to be around like-minded more so than not, because that's what's keeping me going. That's what's keeping me
Mhm.
motivated. That's what's holding me accountable. Not only do I have a coach and a mentor, but I also have community that is going to continue to hold me accountable as well. So for
Yeah.
people that feel like that you don't need to start and build connections and stuff like that as an entrepreneur, please let me tell you, that is cap. That is
But
cap.
you definitely
Find that
do.
system. Go through the trial and error of building your tribe. Everybody ain't gonna be your tribe, true
Yeah.
enough. But go through the process of finding fellow entrepreneurs,
Yeah.
connect with other people, get in these spaces, go to events, do stuff as an entrepreneur if that's what you're wanting to do for the
Yeah.
long term, sis.
Definitely agree. Like you definitely have to figure. Cause listen, you still gonna have your core,
You
right? Your
are.
group,
You
right?
are. And
And
if you don't, you don't either, because that's one thing.
exactly.
And that could be a whole nother topic.
But this
If you
exactly, but
don't
that's where you
have,
find out who really is your core,
there
right?
you go.
Because the people that are your core, they understand that you're busier.
Yep.
So you may not be able to do some of the stuff
Yep.
you were doing before, right? Like you're picking and you're choosing, right? But you're really being intentional about how you're spending your time.
Yep.
And so I really do think it is important, right? Like I'm gonna go back to mindset. Um, to the point where I was like, okay, how can I make this doable for people who think they can't use a coach, right?
Mhm.
So people can work with me one-on-one if they want, but I actually created an online coaching program
Yeah.
where you can do it yourself. You can go
I love
online,
it.
you can click on the mindset module, you can learn about fixed mindset, growth mindset, and if you want to spend 30 minutes with a coach, you
There
get
you
me,
go.
right?
Yep.
But I think it really is about people deciding from the
Yep.
beginning, who are you?
Who are you?
And what do you think? When I started my business, one of my really good friends, we worked together years ago, and I was like, yeah, I'm starting this business. And he was like, oh, you're finally going to start. And I'm like, I didn't even remember that I told this dude years ago
Right.
that I wanted to start my own business, because you want to know why? Because life happens
Yeah.
and we let life happen
Yeah.
and we get caught up, and some of it is real, right? Because we do go through some real stuff. And then some of it we make because of the choices,
Facts.
right? But when you get back to that point of clarity of who it is that you really are and what you really want to do and what's your
Mhm.
passion, like you get out of the bed every morning and you want to get out of the bed,
You want to get out of bed. Yep.
right? You're starting to think about what it is that you want to do. If you are dragging yourself in to work, here's when I knew I really needed to focus on entrepreneurship, is when I was working remotely and going from the back of the room, back of the house to the front of the house. I was driving to go
Yeah.
sit in front of a computer screen.
Yeah.
I didn't have to leave my house, right? And I was like, okay, you need to make the transition. And the transition was, I'm gonna leave this executive role. And people are like, you gonna what?
That's
You're
security, like
not
you
gonna
said.
be,
That's that financial security.
but
They
that
like,
but that
you
was
gonna
a
leave that? Yeah.
and that was a sacrifice, right? Yes. Had to take a little paper, especially because I'm now living in another state, right? I went from New York to North Carolina. But the reality was, in order for me really to focus on
And
my
step in your
business,
purpose.
right? I had to remove some of the stuff that was not giving me the time to do what I wanted to do.
Yes.
But also I had to realize I had a fabulous career and it's a title. The
That's it.
title going away is not going to take away the
I
career
love
that
that.
I had and the expertise that I have in HR. I'm just going to deliver it in a different way.
I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. Awesome. 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 Listen, this has been such a dope conversation. Listen, if y'all have not got any feedback or value from this conversation, then I don't know what to tell you, because not only you heard transparency, but you have heard the real deal of what has helped us thrive as entrepreneurs, and our journey continues. We are still ongoing, but it's all about the mindset. Information will be in the notes, but please let them know where they can find you.
So I am on Instagram and Facebook, Theodora Carter 428. So anywhere you find me, just look for Theodora 428. I usually have on this little purple shirt.
Hey, come
my
on.
picture, right? Healing is a choice, right?
Healing is a choice. I love it. I love it. And the notes will, like I said, the links will be in the podcast notes, you guys.
But that's how you can find me anywhere. Theodora Carter 428 on Instagram and Facebook.
I love it. I love it. I appreciate you so much for coming on and sharing your
Thank
insight.
you for having me.
Absolutely. Before we go, please give a quick tip, a quick piece of advice, just something for the fellow women entrepreneurs or those that want to become entrepreneurs, just a real quick tip or advice that you want to give them.
I would say one, like I said, invest in yourself, but also if you're new to entrepreneurship, invest in your business.
Yeah.
Right.
Period.
Because that was something that I had to do going into 2024. And so I didn't invest in a virtual assistant. Right. And so I will say one is the investment in yourself is key.
Yeah.
But also as you navigate entrepreneurship, you have to figure out ways to invest in your business. Right. And that's one. But the other key one is really, and I'm saying this because I had to learn this, stop looking at the other people on social media that are doing what you want to do. Look at them because they're doing what you want to do. And there might be one or two that you can utilize as a mentor.
Yeah.
But don't look at them and compare them to they're doing this and you got to do it. Because I will tell you, a lot of those people that are saying they have $1 million and they have $1,000, they really don't.
Hey, they capping. Hey, they.
And so I would say comparison will take you out.
Yeah.
Because it will make you feel like you don't have the ability or what it takes to do it. And the first, like I'm in my 3rd year, going into my 4th year, right? And I'm just starting to pick up really steam. Like I'm really starting to fall into my own. So I would say also don't give up. If it's really what you want to do, don't give up.
Period.
Don't be afraid to ask for help. And I will tell you, I have done pro bono. So I have people who are like, they have a service I need, have a service they need.
Bartering. Oh my God. Yay.
So that's
Bartering
another
is
tip.
so key. Yes. Listen,
That's
y'all.
another tip.
Y'all heard that.
People do not be afraid to barter.
Yeah. It's fact.
That's going to be a game changer.
It is. And I'm so glad that you ended with that, because that is going to be a game changer. It's all about connections, people. It's all about your confidence, and it's all about the journey to becoming the most empowering version of yourself as a woman and as an entrepreneur and as a business owner and everything else. Like, it starts with self. Okay. So I appreciate you so much for being here today. I really do. I love the conversation. Y'all know where y'all can find me at Coach K Transforms on all platforms. If you have not, make sure you subscribe to the Upgraded Mindsets channel, where you are watching the Woman's Hustle, Thrills, and Spills of Entrepreneurship. But you can also catch my other podcast, which is Empowering Real Talk, because baby, them conversations are definitely necessary. We out of here, y'all. Keep yourselves focused. Stay motivated. The journey is yours for the taking. We believe in y'all. Have a good one. Peace out, y'all.